Good morning, targeted individuals, and all you folks out there that are being tortured by satellite weapons, electronic harassment, torture programs that are going out there run by the government, NSA, CIA, FBI, some private corporations. I've been targeted individuals for over 17 years now, and it began when I was in the military. Back in 1993, when I enlisted in the U.S. Marines, the Navy, without my consent or out of federal court order, they have implanted me and are tracking my mind without my consent or without a federal judge's court order. And this happened back in 1994 during a dental procedure. They were working on some teeth in mine while I was in the Marine Corps in a Navy clinic. And the Navy implanted me with a tracking device during a routine root canal. It's embedded in there, and they can read what I'm broadcasting out to society. Okay? We look at a couple of things here. First of all, it is against the law to implant, eavesdrop, or wiretap anybody without a federal court order. Okay? You have to have a federal court order to eavesdrop, wireplant, or implant anybody. Okay? So yeah, I served in the Marine Corps. Okay? And all those years I was in the Marine Corps, when I was honorably discharged, they should have removed all government property from me. Even the implant. They should have taken that thing out from me. They didn't do it. And so they violated my constitutional rights and my civil liberties when they left the thing in there throughout my career, almost 17 years later. And I've been trying to fight this in court. I've contacted Congress, the Senate. I've contacted the FBI, the Department of Justice. And they are stalking me, torturing me with this implant. They're tracking me via satellite, and they're torturing at me to get me to think about something that they can investigate because they're trying to close this operation down. But if I went to Congress, two congressmen, and they said, oh, this implant's not right, how in the hell are you reading my mind? How are you reading my mind, understanding what I'm thinking, and playing the mind game if congressman says it doesn't exist? They didn't implant you. How are you fucking reading my mind if it doesn't exist? So, the Navy lied to Congress. They told them that they didn't implant me. The FBI won't investigate it. I've written the FBI back in 2007. I came to their office. No, it's not going on. They're not implanting. They're not tracking your mind. They're not reading your mind. Well, that's bullshit, people. You know what I'm thinking? If you know what I'm thinking, they did violate the constitutional law. They illegally wiretapped me, which is assault and battery. You cannot touch somebody without their consent. They've implanted me, which is against the law. It's an assault and battery. You're eavesdropping on my mind, and you wiretap me by implanting this thing. It's illegal. It's against the law. You have to have a federal court order. In this case, they don't have a federal court order. So my question to the FBI and to the Navy, why? Why did you implant me, and why won't the FBI investigate it? Because they're trying to track more Americans. They want to implant and track more Americans. They want you to be like me and implant and track and reading your mind so they can go and stalk you via satellites and torture you or even kill you, man. So I want to talk about artificial intelligence, and I want to talk about being implanted and reading your mind. Think about this. You have to understand that, yes, we are being watched. We are being watched by satellites no matter what. They're watching us, they're zooming into us, and they know what the hell's going on. Secondly, all you guys out there, man, they're trying to infiltrate your family and your friends and people you hang around with. Okay? And they have runners, man. Those guys up there have runners down here that follow you and stalk you, and they want your information. They want to gather your information to either kill your organization, kill your group, kill your people, and just silently kill them. So be precautious, and I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, for instance, I am riding with a pack of motorcycle riders called the American Riders, okay? And we go and ride around in a pack of, and those guys can watch us meet. Let's say we meet at a local barbecue place on Friday. Well, those guys over there are watching me ride with a pack of motorcycle riders, and what happens? They either kill a guy on a motorcycle, they stalk him. You know, they want that information. They want to know where they're going, man. So, I mean, it's out there, man. They're sending guys down here to infiltrate organizations, to give back information to those guys watching out there, and they slowly attack you and they kill you, man. So be precautious, man. It's insane. It's nuts what they're doing. It's against the law, but they're doing it. We're being breached. We're being watched. Every single movement that we do, who we hang around with, what we know, who we know. I published a book called The 1994 Hacked Mind. And I published it last year, and now they are vetting people who buy the book because it's the truth, man. They've implanted me. The FBI won't touch it. Congressmen are being barred from investigating this because they want to track more people. They want to track you. They want to know who you're hanging around with. But all I can say to you guys, man, is be careful who you hang around with, because whoever you hang around with might be your friend. But this thing has been around since the 1950s, bro. They've been watching people since the 1950s. That's when the first satellite was built. So from the 1950s to this decade, it's almost 60 years in the making of what they've done to satellites. They put cameras on satellites. They put gun turrets, laser beams, invisible rays, and they're killing people, man. So be precautious, man. It's out there. 60 years they have developed satellite weapons, man. And they're watching us. Okay, so be precautious. So all you people out there, well, you know, I think artificial intelligence is good, and I think being implanted is good. Artificial intelligence meaning they can read your mind. And they know what you're doing in the head, man. They know where you're going. If you're if you're going to Starbucks to get your coffee every day, Monday through Friday, they're going to alter your coffee. If they don't like it, they're going to kill you, man. They're going to poison you, or they're going to alter your DNA, or they're going to give you a heart attack. That's what they do, man. So being implanted and tortured does not make any sense, brothers and sisters. Does not make any sense. They want to know what you're thinking so they can beat you at your game, cause a disaster, kill you, harm you, or torture, disable you, man. So think about it before you go into artificial intelligence. Well, where's he getting this information from? Where am I getting my information from? Well, get out your computers and type in YouTube and type in Dr. Robert Duncan and Governor Jesse Ventura. Dr. Robert Duncan's video tells you that Americans are being attacked. They're being tortured. Watch his video. Americans are being attacked. Jesse Ventura says, are there Americans going through this experiment? Yeah. And he says, yep, they're being attacked. They are being tortured. That's what he says. He wrote 2 books. The Soul Catcher, Taming a Demon. That's Dr. Robert Duncan. Now go look at Dr. John Hall, who is right here from San Antonio. Dr. John Hall is an anesthesiologist. He's not a dummy. He's not psychotic. He's an anesthesiologist. What does anesthesiologists do? They put people under sleep. They put them to sleep when you're not going to do an operation. They shut down the neural system to your body so they can operate. He knows about pain. Dr. John Hall is from San Antonio. He wrote a book called A New Breed of Satellite Terrorism in America. He wrote a book called The Guinea Pig. Look him up. Google it. Google A New Breed of Satellite Weapons in America. Google The Guinea Pig and read those books. That's evidence, man. Another person I want to talk about is whistleblower Karen Milton Stewart from the NSA. Look her up. She's got all kinds of videos on YouTube and on the internet, man. So, I mean, if you look up targeted individual on YouTube, you'll see a lot of people, man, across America who are being tortured and stalked and have complaints like me. But I want to focus on one case. And this is a case that's developed in court. Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, W-A-L-H-B-E-R-T, Mark Wahlberg has been to court against Obama because he's been implanted, he's been tracked, and he's been tortured. And he went to representatives out of Missouri, and Mr. Representative from Missouri, he helped him close his case out. They removed his implant, and he got freedom again. But when I go to the FBI, when I go to congressmen, when I go to senators, here I am. So it's not fair. You release Mr. Mark Wahlberg, and you won't set me free? I mean, that's wrong, man. Why not set me free, bro? Here are a couple of more cases, civil court cases and criminal cases that are out there. Kathleen Waiterson, W-A-T-T-E-R-S-O-N, Kathleen Waiterson versus Arrow, A-R-O. Read that case. Google that. Richard Kane. Richard Kane versus Obama. Richard and then Kane, C-A-I-N, versus Obama. Look at his case. There's a lot of cases that are out there, man, that talks about what's going on up there. They're attacking us, man. And Dr. John Hall mentions it's the FBI. The FBI, they have these retired FBI agents that are private investigators. They're going out stalking people, man, with the FBI's knowledge. That should be a crime, an espionage crime of providing information using government property to attack American citizens or using government weapons to attack Americans. So, we're being stalked and tortured, man, whether we like it or not, brother. But you have to remember, watch who you're talking to, man, because they're reading your information and they're reporting back to that idiot up there that's controlling everything, and they're going to attack you, kill you, disable you, or cripple you, man. We can't get out of this. Artificial intelligence sucks. You don't want to be implanted, man. I don't care. The money ain't good. The money ain't good if you ain't got your freedom. They're torturing you, man. And the sad thing about it is that I've been paid by the VA to keep this thing quiet, man, which is a crime itself. And then I went to the FBI to ask them to investigate this, and they won't investigate it because it's a crime, man. You want to stop a crime, not create more of a problem. That's called aiding and abetting, and that's what the FBI is doing with the VA. They're aiding and abetting a crime. You got to stop a crime, man. Take the implant out, stop the terrorism, and you stop it. That's what your job is as a federal law enforcement agency. And the FBI's ignoring me, folks. I've tried to find answers. I've been in mental institutions where they don't like the term targeted individuals. I've been to psychiatrists, to psychologists. They don't like the term targeted individual. I've been to jail, man. And what I told them was like, look, I am a targeted individual. I've been tortured. I've been stalked. I've been implanted and tracked, man, for almost 17 years. They don't like that term, man. They don't want the courts. They don't want it in the law books. They don't want targeted individual, satellite weapons, electronic arrest. They don't want those three terms in our law books. It's too early in the game, man. So I didn't have a trial. I didn't get to present my case, my argument, my defense against the FBI. And it sucks because we have to have that in court. People have to know what is going on today. We have to keep those terms in the law books so they can study them in the history books, in our law books. We can understand what is going on. Because the people that are making the money are going to be your psychiatrists and your doctors, man. But doctors, they're blind in this game, man. They're being tortured. People are coming into their office. Hey, I'm a targeted individual. I'm being assaulted and tortured. They don't know what to do, man. It's all over. But how do you code that? How do you put medical coding on that? CPT codes, ICD-9 codes. How do you code all that stuff, man? In the medical books, they can't code it. So they call you psychotic or paranoid or schizophrenia, man. It sucks, but it's out there, bro. There's a lot of evidence. And if you don't believe me, read the 2001 Space Preservation Act. The 2001 Space Preservation Act that was written by the Honorable Congressman Dennis Kucinich from Ohio back in 2001 to save Americans. But it didn't get passed. We want to know why it didn't get passed. America, you have to answer questions. Why didn't the Space Preservation Act get passed in 2001? Why didn't it get passed? Because they knew that it was too good of a thing. They were targeting and attacking Americans, and if you were to pass a law, then they'd have to investigate this. Now we leave our books open because there's no laws created to investigate this. When the congressman was trying to protect America, and they didn't listen to him. Why? That's a question you have to answer. Ask your congressmen and senators. The next time they go into office and vote, ask them, hey, why didn't the 2001 Space Preservation get passed? From Dennis Kucinich, a congressman. Why didn't it get passed? Ask your senators and congressmen. Why didn't it get passed? Let them give you an answer. Okay? So, those are a couple of key things that I'm giving you so you can understand and help you understand what it is to be targeted individual. I've been targeted since 17 years now, man. And the FBI is trying to kill me to cover up the conspiracy. Instead of investigating it, you investigate it, not pay somebody to keep it quiet because you want to continue on implanting and tracking Americans, torturing them. You want to stop and investigate the case. That's what they're doing right now. Americans, I'm healthy. I work out every day. I jog. I ride my bike 24 miles. And so I'm a healthy guy. I keep my vital signs, and I know about medicine because I was licensed at one point in time with the Texas Board of Pharmacy, and I didn't leave because I didn't want to be a pharmacy tech. I didn't leave because I was fired. I left because it was my duty to leave, because I am broadcasting patients' information to the public and to the government, in which you should have no concern. That's against the HIPAA law. Look up HIPAA law. You can't release information out to the public, medical information. And so I left. I left with being a good Samaritan. I left with being knowledge that, hey, I'm violating the law. If I'm broadcasting that to society, I'm violating the law. Not only that, I'm working for pharmacists and I'm jeopardizing their job. Broadcasting patients' rights to society and to the government, in which you should have no concern. So I'm not a dummy. I'm just doing the right thing that America's supposed to do. Okay, I'm doing what is supposed to be done in this country, and and I'm trying to shut this illegal implant and stocking down. Okay, guys, we don't know who's up there, but whoever's up there is being very, very idiotic, man. They are torturing me because I listen to Tejano music, rock music, country. You have to be a diverse, man, to be me, man, because you don't know who's up there watching you. And if they don't like the t-shirt you're wearing, they don't like the shoes you're wearing, your haircut, who you're with, they will torture you, man. It's a bad situation out there, but you're being tortured for what you do. You're being, instead of you being you're symbolizing maybe a t-shirt that says Harley Davidson, or you're symbolizing something that says, on your shirt or what you do. They attack you. They torture you. We don't like what you're listening to. They're going to torture your ass. Okay. We don't know who's up there watching and who's listening, but you have to watch it, man. We can't be symbolizing anything nowadays. Sad but true, but that's what they're doing. They're torturing you because of who you are, what you do. Okay. The idiot up there may be listening. Maybe he may like rap music and he doesn't like Tejano music, so he may zap you. Or he may like rock music, he don't like Tejano music, and he may zap you. So it's very hard to be me, man. Because as much as you want to do things and you have to diverse everything, that's the way you live your life. You cannot say, well, I like this particular, I like rock and roll. That's all I'm going to listen to is rock and roll, and you're being tortured for that. It sucks, man. Okay? The same with life in general. You cannot just like one person because they know what you're thinking, and they will torture you, target you, and stalk you. So it doesn't make any sense to be implanted and tracked if you can't express your freedom and do what you want to do, because that person up there may not like your freedom and the way you express it, and he may torture you. So think before you want to be implanted, you want to be tracked, or you want to have artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence saying, hey, you have artificial intelligence. We can read your mind. We know what you're thinking. And let's utilize that information by what? You're broadcasting your intelligence. And your intelligence is, hey, I developed a patent. I'm going to build a new guitar, man. It's going to have Bluetooth. It's going to have Wi-Fi on my guitar. Well, they know what you're thinking, and the government steals that patent. They made guitars that have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth before you even come out with that, man. It's not fair. Think about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not good because you're speaking your mind, and they're trying to beat you to your information, gather your information. You don't want them there. They got there illegally, but you're giving out that information. They know where you're going. They know ahead of time of where you're going, man. You're going to the steakhouse. You're going to the dance hall. You're going to a bar. You're going to your girlfriend's house, your family's house. They know you're having a party. They go invade your party. They get all the information about the people at your party, and they use it against you. So it doesn't make sense to be implanted, tracked, and tortured, man. And it makes you want to stay away from your family because you don't want them to hurt your family. They read your mind and know what you're going. The people at the party are jeopardizing, and they're torturing them, because you're broadcasting information, so you stay away from your family and friends and parties and everything else, man. It sucks. It sucks, man. So think about that when you want to be implanted, and think about who's watching out there, man, and be precautious who you hang around with, because that guy, they have runners down here, man. They have runners that infiltrate motorcycle clubs, car clubs, dance halls, any information they can gather up there to use, because you're symbolizing something, they will use it against you. So I've been a target individual for 17 years, man. And I'm trying to stay healthy and strong as much as I can. And I'm trying to get in contact with legislative people out there to help them understand what's going on. And this past week, I filed a letter with the Department of Justice, the Office Inspector General, saying, hey, man, the FBI is not doing their job. The Department of Justice is not doing their job. Who's going to do their job to investigate this? Who will do their job? So Americans, I'm reaching out to you because if you're feeling the pain, you're feeling the burn, and you're feeling discomfort, and you know it's not you, contact your congressman, write him a letter, say, hey, I'm a targeted individual, I'm experiencing pain, turn my phone off, I leave the air, I leave the city, and I'm still experiencing pain, different parts of my body. They're torturing me, they're stalking me. Why? Write your congressman, write the FBI, have a formal letter, and use your social media to post things, man. It's a journal. The Facebook's a journal. The media is a journal, man. You get in contact with your senators and congressmen, follow those guys. And, hey, look, man, I filed my paperwork. How come, I'm still being tortured? How come I'm being targeted? Email the president if the FBI is not doing their job. Or not email them, but, follow them on social media. Hey, I filed my paperwork. Last week, I'm still being tortured by the FBI. Let the president know, because if he doesn't know what's going on, then he can't do the checks and balances on his agency. He can't check on the FBI. Hey, man, this guy filed his paperwork. Let me see his paperwork. What'd you do with it? It's all checks and balances, man. They have to keep an eye on the government agencies because all they can do is wall that paper up and throw it in the trash can. And they keep on torturing you again. So, you guys, be precautioned. It's out there. We're being stalked and tortured by satellite weapons. Thank you very much. Use the information to your best of your knowledge. And be careful, be cautious, and take a different route. Okay? What I mean by taking a different route is that, hey, don't take the same route overs and overs again. Going through Highway 90, going through 35, because they see that every day, man. They know what you're going, and if they're targeting you, they'll burn your car, flat your tires, flip your car, burn a hole in your house, burn a hole in your roof, crack the tiles in your house, break your faucet, break your plumbing. They do that. That weapon is dangerous, man. That weapon that they have up there can shoot anything invisible through your house, break appliances, burn your house down, crack pipes, crack floors, move your ground, shift your house. It's bad, man. The weapon is bad. Type in Google, man, if you have any questions about HARP, H-A-R-R-P, HARP. It's a weapon. Electromagnetic weapons, satellite weapons. Google them, man. It's out there, okay? I'm going to close out by saying, hey, man, stay healthy, watch your people, watch your friends, watch your health. If your doctor's over, diagnosing you, man, get a second opinion, man. Know your vital, know yourself, know what your blood pressure is. Take your blood pressure in the morning when you wake up after 8 hours of rest. You're supposed to be getting 8 hours of rest. After 8 hours of rest, your body has processed everything. Your blood pressure is lower when you wake up. That's your true blood pressure. Not when you're eating chingo the cheeseburgers or you're out there partying. Your blood pressure is going to be high. Take it when you have waking up in the morning and you've rested, man. That's your true blood pressure because your body has rested. And that's your true blood pressure when you're waking up, man. Not when you're out there, chingas, you fucking racing your heart, or you go in a doctor's office, they close the door, and they immediately put the blood pressure cuff on you. They take your blood pressure, man. Hey, tell them, you know what? Hey, give me 5 minutes, man. Let me relax a little bit. Read the blood pressure, Or take your blood pressure before you go to the doctor's office in the morning. That's your blood pressure, Question, hey, man, why is my blood pressure high, man? Let me relax for a minute. Give me 5 minutes, man. Or the machine is bad. That machine, has that machine been, has it been altered? Have you checked the machine? Is it low on batteries, Do you have it plugged in? Is the machine calibrated? Ask the doctor those questions, man. So just be precaution, have warning of what's going on, and keep in mind, man, everybody's watching you, man. No matter what, they are watching you. They know what you're doing, man. So be precautions. Thank you, and God bless.